Okay, I'm recording this at the end of the episode, but I closed this off a little bit. People could still eat Perlin, but you know, it's gonna stop a lot of them. So all the cactus now goes in here, falls through this, goes out through the sign, it falls down, it lands, there you go. Okay. Here we go. It drops down, it keeps lagging, but it does go down. If someone is in this AFK pool that just keeps going around, they're gonna come here, and what a timing, and get it. And see, there's already more on this way. Yo guys, what's going on? It is your boy Funberg here, and in today's episode we are making a cactus farm. And I'm gonna take the opportunity to teach you guys how to build them efficiently, how to make them work perfectly, and basically exactly what you need to do to ever make a cactus farm. Now first thing, we're gonna need sand, we're gonna need cactus, we're gonna need slabs. That's pretty much it. Let's go up and see what I've done so far, because I've already started a little bit. So, first things first. What you first want to do is want to make a water system that travels all the way down, usually into the middle, but it can go to different spaces too. So I've gone with a very simple like stairway design. They're all 8 far, so there's water sources here, and then there's new water here. Of course, if you make it 7 instead, it's gonna just go all the way down automatically. It goes perfectly here, and then I have 1 water there and 1 water here to make it all run into the middle. And right now, I haven't really bothered about setting up any type of shop or anything, so anyone standing here will just receive all the cactus for free. Now, I've done this in a little bit of a weird style. So, if you don't know how cactuses works, if a cactus grows up into a half block, for example a fence or a slab, it instantly breaks. I can show you this by doing this. And they instantly break and they fall down. Now, as you can see, mine is a little bit too short, so some of them is gonna land out here, but that's something I'm gonna be working on later as I expand it. However, to make this as efficient as I can, I don't build these ones when I build. What I do is I let the lower level grow, and then I just place it on the cactus as I get there. And that is pretty much all I do. So I think for now I'm gonna do a little bit of grinding, which the only thing that means is I'm placing these, then I'm placing them here, then I'm placing them here. So every other. And then here, and then there, and then there. And I'm gonna do this all across the entire farm, and I'll explain what the next step is after that. Oh yeah, and as I'm doing this, I'm in the middle of it now, so I'm just flying around, keep doing this. Now, I just wanted to mention that this specific tactic is obviously easier if you can fly. So if you can't fly, I would recommend you either use sand, but if that's too expensive, use dirt. You place the cactus, you place 1 sand, and then you place the fence, and then you just mine it away. So this system works if you have a small farm, but if you're doing a big farm, it's probably gonna be easier to place a block on top of the cactus and then do the fence as you're building it. Obviously the difference for me is that I don't have to do that, and I don't have to mine anything up. Oops. Since it breaks itself, like the cactus breaks itself as I place it on them. So yeah, just a little heads up. Also, everything in this entire episode is like, nothing is gonna be based on the fact that you have to be able to fly. Obviously, flight makes everything easier, but you won't need it. Alright, here we go. We're coming in on the last stretch. And as you can see, we now have 1 more level that is... Okay, so now we can focus on actually building stuff, because that was stuff I did before. So, first step first. And also, I just told the chat, it's funny because doing these kind of recordings when I build something big and like just show off and stuff like that, it's just me talking for like 2-3 minutes, and then it's like turning off the recording and just straight up building for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then I come back again. So bear with me if it looks weird when I edit here, but yeah, next part is just to plant all the cactus, and as I'm making a pretty big farm, this does take quite some time. But that's no biggie, it just has to be done. Besides, every cactus I plant just makes more cactuses, so... The good thing about cactuses is that you just need a little bit of water, 2 buckets to place the water, and then you just need to buy some sand. You can probably find, you can just come to my base and get free cactus always, so you get a few cactuses, and then you need a little bit of wood to make some slabs and some of these, and you're basically set. then that is gonna make cactus that makes money and more cactus, and then you use that and you make it bigger and bigger and bigger. And there is no redstone, there is no spawners. It just makes you money if you have an AFK pool, like forever. So I can give you a little sneak peek from how to get rich. Start making cactus farms fast, because that's just free money for you for as long as you have it going. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this off and I'm gonna show you the next step of our build. And we are just about done. Sorry about that. I got confused what this dude there. Thank you. Okay, so I thought of one way to make this a little bit easier on you guys if you can't fly, and that is, a lot of you I think are gonna make smaller cactus farms that but you can easily get a lot of cactus. Like, you're gonna come to my base and get a few stacks. So if you want, you can always do it like this, because I told you before about just placing. Okay, so let's do both. So one way of doing it is just doing this. As you plant the cactus, you place blocks and then you do this. Now the good thing is that it's very easy to break these with your, like, sand and dirt breaks very easily with shovels. You can also do this. You can plant more cactus, and the negative thing is that you're gonna have to use more cactus, because when you break it, so that one was fine. I don't know what happened to that one, but you saw that it touched the cactus and it goes away. That's just something that happens in these things. But the good thing is obviously that you don't have to break anything, because as you place it, it does it on its own. Now, like I showed you before, I'm not gonna be doing this at all. All I do, yeah, so I keep building and I just let these grow, and then I use the grown ones to place these later on. So when you do this, it's pretty easy, but let me explain everything so no one gets, even if you know this, some people might not. So obviously the first thing you want to do is place one block, because cactus has to grow. So this is where the cactus will grow and it will instantly break. And then on top of that, I just use slabs, but you can just use that. You place one more to get that. Then you break this and that, and then you place another slab. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do all the way around in a circle, so I can build from the inside. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna place this across all of the cactuses, and then we're gonna start breaking it again. Then we're gonna place sand, and that is pretty much how you do it. So I think I'm gonna cut in to show you exactly what I mean once I've done this. But first of all, I'm just gonna place these slabs on this height around the entire farm, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so we have made a circle around it. Now the only thing I'm gonna do is, first of all, just because it's convenient, I do this. Now this is flying tips only, and then I break this. So I'm always on like a good level. I can fly above the cactus, and then what I do, I'm just click super fast. I just do this on top of the cactus, because the next layer of cactus we want to be there too. So I just do this. We don't worry about this because we break it later. And basically, this is just all you do across all of them. If you watched my video when I built craners once, I didn't do it like this because I was so stressed. But this is a lot better. You know what you're doing. You're not gonna mess anything up. It's gonna keep the exact same pattern. Like you can see, if I fly above this, it's gonna have like this nice. There's not gonna be any cactus in any wrong places or anything like that. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Now I'm gonna go ahead and once again just cut this out because it's no fun. And yeah, for you guys, I will be back in a second. For me, it's gonna be, well, it's not that long. A few minutes. See you guys now. Alright, it is done. And I can tell you right now that I'm doing, and this doesn't matter if you have fly or not, this is the most boring part of it. Now, sometimes I use fly for this and sometimes I don't. I think I am gonna do it this time, but so what you wanna do now is, after placing all these lines above all of the cactuses, what you wanna do is you wanna be on it and you need to remove everything that isn't over a cactus. And obviously if you don't, whenever a cactus drops, let's say that this cactus drops, if there's a slab here, then the cactus is just gonna land on it and you're not gonna get any cactus. So this has to be done all the way around this, so there isn't any fun way of doing it. Just either you fly, which takes longer to mine, or you do it like this, but then obviously you will have to move quite a bit, so it's a bit of a taste. Sometimes I jump around and do it like this, and sometimes I fly. Flying takes longer, I think, but obviously you don't have to like jump and there is no risk of falling or anything. So usually when I do it, I just cut in the right height and I do it like this, but you can tell it's much slower doing it like this. So anyways, it's pretty straightforward, it's just very boring. And I think I'm gonna do this and show you how like the next part of the setup is gonna be done. And after that we're pretty much done with the whole level of it. And we are pretty much done. Just a few more to go. And that is why I fly even slower. And now the last step, and we're done with an entire new floor, is the sand one. Now the sand one is the worst step, for a very simple reason. Oops. I think I only need 5 stacks, and that is because sand is the only thing that really costs you a lot of money. But then again, it is also kind of free, because you start making a cactus farm, and as the cactus farm gets bigger, you use the money from the cactus farm to poop. You use that money to buy more sand, and so on and so on. So even though you spend money doing it, you will gain money. And if you're new and you're like looking for ways to make money, my biggest suggestion is don't be like, okay, I'm gonna save half and I'm gonna buy enchantments or hello or anything like that. Focus on one thing. So if you start making a cactus farm, I would recommend that you use all your money to buy more sand and just keep making that one bigger for quite some time. Like, it doesn't matter if you have $0 if you have a cactus farm, and then if you come on the other day and you have 10,000 and you spend all that on sand, that is still better than saving a little bit, because the day after you're gonna have $20,000 and so on and so on. Alright, so I've planted the top floor. Now I'm gonna let those grow up, and there is a little dude in here apparently. Hello, turtle. So we're gonna have to kind of wait for these to grow up, but what I'm now just gonna do is just wait for these so we can slow and steadily. I guess we can do it like this too. Get like I said before, get this thing up and running by having them grow and then place fences. But yeah, anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna go AFK here for a little while and have these grow up so I can finish off the last fences, and I'll be back once that is done. Alright guys, it is done, at least for now. All the layers are done, they're self-harvesting, and I did something I thought was pretty funny. So before, everything was just dropping here to the floor, right? But instead I did free cactus in the AFK pool, inside the IG. So you just run up these stairs, and the point is that if you're in here, you're gonna get free cactus all the time. Time to summarize the build itself. So, first things first, and this is where most people do wrong. They start by doing a floor and then they don't have a solid way of making the water system, like I said in the beginning. So what you first want to do is map out how big it's gonna be, and then after doing that you place the water and then you start building. As you can see, I started with fences, but slabs are easier if you ask me. Also, mine doesn't go all the way to the corner. Now I would recommend that this side and the back side, everything that is walls, should be 2 blocks away. So this should really have been water, and this should also have been water. And two blocks here should be water, and then the wall. Just so cactus don't go like this, right? Because I have cactus all along the sides. If I go around, I don't find any cactus. Oh, there is some. Here is some more. Yeah, you get the point anyway. So make a bigger base system for it. However, for me it doesn't really matter, because my plan is to expand this even more later on. So it's not a big deal if I miss anything, and besides I give the cactus away for free right now anyways. So after you do that, the second most important thing is that it has anywhere to drop, right? So as you can see, all of mine are just pillars with sand and cactus and slabs, so there's plenty of room to drop. So yeah, it's important that it had somewhere to fall. My system is not very space efficient, right? Because I could have cactuses here too, but the difference is that almost all cactuses that ever grows actually goes down to the water system and goes on from there. So it's like, it takes some more space, but more cactus actually reaches the bottom. So it's like, give or take, it's a little bit what you prefer as well. But yeah, that's how I build them. And apart from that, just remember that it's gonna look like sand costs a lot, but this is just always gonna make cactus, so it's gonna pay for the sand on its own. And yeah, that's pretty much how I make it. So you have, let's go from here, you have a slab, sand, cactus, free slot, and then a slab on the top part, and then another sand. And where the cactus grows up, you put a fence. That fence will break it for you. Obviously, this fence breaks this and this, so you don't need anything here. And then this and this grows up, and it gets broken by this. Nothing here, and so on. And after once you have your basic layout, you can just basically, whenever you have time, just keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger, as long as you can do it. Apart from that, that's this episode. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys enlightened. And I'll see you guys next time.